And welcome back to another video. An NBA video. Yeah, these are the most fun ones I do. I like basketball the best out of the sports and stuff. So, excited to do this one. Also, today I'm talking about a team who I don't like and how they aren't very good. So, even more happy. I'm a Jazz fan if you didn't know. And you probably saw that this is about the Nuggets. I'm not just saying this because I'm a salty Jazz fan because they beat us. No, they won fair and square. They're good for them. But I mean, they aren't that good. We are better than them. Don't know how we lost. Uh, we were 1-3 away though at the end. There, we were about to beat them. We were so close. Dang it. Well, this is a new year, and I'd be willing. I'd be willing to bet that Jazz end up better than the Nuggets this year. So yeah, let's just get into the video. So the Nuggets are currently 3-5. That's not good, and like their losses are to Phoenix, who's sure good, Dallas, who's sure good, but and Sacramento twice. The Clippers are, I guess, good, but they've beat the Rockets and the Timberwolves twice. The Rockets aren't that good this year. And the Timberwolves, I mean, they beat the Jazz, but they aren't that good. So yeah, that's just not that impressive. And the stretch coming up for them is hard. At Philadelphia, at New York, at Brooklyn, all of those teams are apparently good this year. Like the Sixers are apparently the best team in the East now. That's not true. That's still the Bucks, even though the Jazz beat them last night. I'm not going to turn this into a Jazz fan talking about the Jazz the whole time in a Nuggets video thing, so I won't mention them again unless necessary. But like Philadelphia's really good, not top 10. They're a top 10 team. New York's apparently good this year, and Brooklyn, I mean, depends on if Kevin Durant's back by then or not. Probably not. Maybe it depends on if Kyrie Irving's back. But then again, the Nets beat the Sixers on Thursday without Kyrie and KD. So yeah, and then they got Golden State, who literally I made a video on how they aren't very good last week, and then they're like 2 or 3-1 since then. Curry literally the next day had 62 points, so oof. I might have been wrong. I'd still say he's the most overrated player in the league, but the gap between him and Embiid is a lot closer now. Curry being the most overrated. Let's see. Golden State, the Jazz, revenge game. The Thunder are fine, kind of, not really actually. But then the Suns twice at the Suns twice, at Dallas, at Miami, San Antonio's decent, and then against the Jazz again. They by the end of that's like through the end of the month. They legitimately might have a losing record at the end of January, and would I would say that I bet that they would because they just aren't good. Like, and see, the problem isn't their star players as overrated as I think they are, and I always have, not just because they beat the Jazz in the playoffs. I've always thought Jokic well, I never really thought Jamal Murray was that overrated. I just never thought much of him because no one really thought of him as a superstar, all-star player. Like, he's not, but he's good. Jokic, overrated but good, very good, all-star caliber. But like, other than that, who do you really have that's going to carry you to greatness? Michael Porter's out right now because of COVID, I believe. Who else? Monte Morris. I like Monte Morris, but he's honestly not that great. I mean, Will Barton, Paul Millsap. Who else? Like, who else? Gary Harris is decent, I guess. But like, you look at some of the other teams in the West, like, you can't tell me the Lakers are, or the Nuggets are better than the Lakers. So the Lakers are better. The Clippers are better. I would argue the Jazz. Well, let's look at the standings and all but the Memphis, and Minnesota, who's only... Oh, man. So the Nuggets have beat 2 of their 3 wins have came against a team that's 2-6. And their other win came against a team that was 3-4. So, yeah. Yikes. So the Lakers are better, the Clippers are better. I'd argue the Jazz are better, the Mavs are better. For sure. And there are lots of other teams, like I'd say Phoenix is better at this point. I was lower on them coming into the year, but they're good. I was wrong. Like, okay, that's not as much as I was thinking. Golden State's looking like they might be better. Portland has had their moments. Sacramento's had their moments against the Nuggets. But, so I think their depth's the biggest issue. So if I'm them, I make a trade deadline move or a trade at some point this season and try and acquire a little better depth. So, I'd say, who don't they need? They don't need... I'm not doing this on the fly. I know what I'm... I just forgot who I was going to say. Oh, yeah, Will Barton, because... Yeah, sure, he's coming off the bench, but I bet a lot of teams will love a guy like Will Barton. And you could get 2 good bench pieces. So then your bench could look like Monte Morris. You could get a new shooting guard because they need one. JaMychal Green, I guess. He's a center, isn't he? Well, I don't know. Paul Millsap I'd honestly kick him to bench. He's old at this point. He was really good for the Jazz and the Hawks. But, yeah, I'd kick him to the bench. Get a new power forward and center. Yeah, okay. Now that I think about this, you can't get all that for Will Barton. So they're in a tough spot. Maybe multiple trades. Maybe they trade like a Gary Harris and get something bigger. Or something. Millsap's contract's way big, I think, so I don't know that... Yeah, $30 million. You probably couldn't find a trade for him, but yeah, so that's basically what I think they should do, and I am going to predict that they are a bottom... Okay, well, I think that they'll find a way to make the playoffs, but they're going to be no higher than the 6th seed. I don't think that happens. Because the Lakers, Clippers, Suns are looking good, Jazz, and Dallas. So that's 5 teams that I think are for sure better than them. And then Golden State's looking good, as much as I hate to say it again after that video I made last week. So yeah, I don't think that they end up as a good seed, and I think that they're out in the first round pretty easily. Don't think that they were a 1-year wonder team, that 2 playoff series wonder team, because that's what they are. So that's my stance on the Nuggets. They aren't that great. I say that, and then they're going to beat the Jazz twice in the next month, and I'm going to be mad. This is going to be like the Warriors video I made last week, where I talk bad about them, and then they all of a sudden start doing amazing. Warriors should have lost again last night, by the way. But yeah, their point differential is exactly 0, so that's kind of funny. And when your wins are against Minnesota and Houston, it's not good. Not good at all. But it's still early. Anything can happen. Maybe, I don't know, a random player starts to just randomly do amazingly. So, who knows? But, yeah. So maybe Monte Morris becomes the next Jamal Murray. I don't know. Monte Morris plays defense, though, so... Murray does not. I don't like players that don't play defense. If you didn't know, I'm a defensive guy. defensive games are the most fun to watch. Like, people like fireworks and all this stuff. I just watched the Purdue Michigan State game from last night. That's one of the most fun games I've watched in the past year. Like, it was like 54-53 at the end or something like that. Maybe 55-54. Like, low scoring games are the most fun, and low scoring comes off of defense. So, yeah, I like defense. Defense is fun. I like players that play defense. That's why. Okay, well, that kind of doesn't warrant my Trae Young being my favorite player in the league thing, but all my other favorite players play defense, like Fred VanVleet, John Isaac, Isaac Okoro. Who else do I like? I don't know. A lot of other players. TJ McConnell, I think, plays pretty good defense. I like him. But yeah, anyway, so that's the Nuggets video about how they aren't that great. Hate me if you want, if you're a Nuggets fan. I hate you. Not you, I hate that you're a Nuggets fan. I can't say I hate you. That's bad. Hate the Nuggets. Hate the Nuggets. Definitely least 5 favorite teams. I'm pretty impartial to most teams. I love the Jazz. Jazz are my favorite team. I don't have a second favorite team. I just have other teams that I kind of like to root for because I like the players, like the Hawks and stuff. But I have 5 least favorite teams. That being the Warriors, the Rockets, the Nuggets, the Sixers, and the Timberwolves. Hate all those teams. Still like some of their players on the teams. I don't like the teams. And Robert Covington, he's another one of my favorite players. He's played for 3 of those teams. But I still hate the teams, still love him. So, glad he's in Portland now. So yeah, see you guys in the next video, and bye.